Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise this morning standing on order 8 Rule 5 of the House Rules to seek your leave that I bring a matter of urgent national importance. And the gamut of the application is that we have read severally in the pages of newspaper and the social media the issues that has to do with a Nigerian who has invested so much to establish a refinery in this country, and he has been complaining that some of the international oil companies, IOCs, are ganging up against him to frustrate him from operating freely. He can no longer get crude locally and then has to be forced to go outside the shores of this country to get crude to refine locally. And I think that that is the nerve center of our country. We should take it as a matter of urgent national importance, look at it and see how we can verify some of the information that are flying out there. Secondly, on the same issue,
yes,
we're also aware that our country invested 20% into that refinery. And what we have heard is that it is now 7.5%. Whether it is true or not, I think that we should see this as an important national issue to certify the truth behind all this information for Nigerians to know. Notes with interest the successful completion and coming into full operation of Dangote oil refinery and petrochemicals. The House also notes that whereas Nigeria is a major oil producing and exporting country, she has for several years continued to import refined petroleum products from other countries to the detriment of the economic well-being of our country. The House notes further that Dangote Refinery, with a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day, is said to be Africa's largest refinery and the world's 7th largest by capacity. And its construction was meant to alleviate the petroleum products needs and accompanying pains faced by Nigerians. The House is aware that recently the management of Dangote Oil Refinery accused the IOCs operating in the country of conspiracy in an attempt to frustrate the smooth operations of the refinery. The House is also aware that the alleged conspiracy against Dangote Refinery relates to efforts by the IOCs to deliberately frustrate the refinery from buying local crude by manipulating and jacking up the premium price above the market price, thus forcing the refinery to reduce output. The House further notes, the House is further aware that according to the management of Dangote Refinery, whilst Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, was trying its best to allocate the crude to Dangote Refinery, the IOCs were deliberately frustrating Dangote Refinery's efforts to buy the local crude. The House is concerned that while IOCs are keen on exporting raw materials to their home countries and thus create wealth and employment for their countries, thereby adding to their GDP, Nigeria continues to be a dumping ground for the refined products, thus making us dependent on imported petroleum products. Also concerned that the IOC strategy or plan, which is capable of making Nigeria face higher rate of unemployment and poverty. The House is concerned that there is an urgent need for the federal government and relevant MDAs, including NUPRC, and key stakeholders to support Dangote Refinery to succeed. The House is worried that whilst federal government of Nigeria subscribed 20% shares in Dangote Refinery, the chairman, Aliko Dangote, claimed that Nigeria was unable to redeem its obligation and now owns 7.2% through NNPC Limited. The House is worried that there is an urgent need to look into these allegations and end or break all forms of dominance and monopoly in the petroleum sector by IOCs and confirm the quantum of federal government interest in the refinery. The House is worried that unless urgent steps are taken by the federal government, as well as investigate these matters and call on the IOCs to order, Dangote Refinery and its operation will be prematurely pushed or forced out of business, and this will not be good for us as a people. The House is also concerned that NNPC Limited is said to be unable to subscribe for the 20% shares that the country ought to own in Dangote Refinery. The House is called to resolve to urge the federal government, NUPRC, NMDPRA, key stakeholders and well-meaning Nigerians to support Dangote Refinery to succeed. Also urge the Minister of Petroleum Resources and all relevant MDAs to immediately take urgent steps and intervene in the matter of crude oil supply to Dangote Refinery. And finally, set up an ad hoc committee to investigate these matters of the inability of NNPC Limited to subscribe for the 20% shares in Dangote Refinery and lack of supply of crude to Dangote Refinery and report back to the House within 4 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, sir.
Baba Jimmy Benson, representing the good people of the Ikorodu Federal Constituency. The biggest constituency in Lagos State with the biggest power plant in Nigeria located in Egbin, in oil-rich Lagos. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second this motion and to contribute. The motion is very important, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second this motion. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
You contributed and also seconded, Abi? 2 in 1. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it.
Well, you know, whatever we do, we add value. We are not an assembly plant. You know, I mean, when I say assembly, we are not packaging plant. If you look at all our operations as Dangote, we actually add value. We take local raw materials and turn them into products and we sell. So which means it's a circular economy which we are practicing. Everything, you know, is here. Everything is in Nigeria. The farmers, the banks, or maybe the people in the mines, the banks, everything is about local. And it is the main reason why we were number 2 in flour milling, but we sold it because the wheat is being imported from abroad. So the more wheat we use, the more jobs we create out there. And that's why we cancel that. We remain only in sugar. Salt is not really a very big business. So that's what we have done. And now, what are we doing? What we are doing, like what our group vice president, Mr. Alake, mentioned, is that we said that, yes, you know, we are always the first mover. You know, we always move first, then other people will follow. And we have never, ever, whether consciously or unconsciously, stopped anybody from doing the same business that we are doing. You know, to the contrary, when you look at it, when we first came into cement production, it was actually only Lafarge that was operating here in Nigeria, which is Iwekoro, and then the one in Ashaka, in Gombe. Nobody ever called Lafarge, you know, monopoly. But we, Dangote, the first plant we set up was what, 5 million tons. That was the first one, against less than 2 million of local production. But when we got in there, you know, people now start saying, monopoly, monopoly. You know, so, and this is really very disheartening when people keep talking about all this monopoly, monopoly. Monopoly, you know, is this only when you stop people, you block them through legal means or whatever. No, it's a, you know, level playing field where whatever Dangote was given, okay, in cement, for example, okay, you know, other people too were given. In fact, some of them, maybe they even got more than us. Okay, we are always very, very careful. You heard what I said. In the refinery, we did not, and I repeat, we did not collect one single incentive from the federal government of Nigeria or from even the Lagos State of Nigeria. Yes, Lagos State, maybe they gave us a good deal, but we paid $100 million for the land. It wasn't a free land. We paid for it. Okay, so people are always looking at the different, you know, other side. They are not really looking at the real picture. Okay, that's one. Number 2, this country has been having petrol queues since when majority of you here were not even born, since 1972. Okay, so 72 to date is what, 52 years. And we are still having the same issue. So just for the fact that, yes, we are ready and about to start this, you know, everybody is now up and about. Yes, but we know that what is giving us you know, a lot of joy is that we know that the majority of the population, they are with us. And so we are not discouraged. We'll continue what we are doing. But, you know, doing new business, like, you know, what you announced, the still, actually our own board has decided that, no, we shouldn't do this still, because if we do it, we'll be called all sorts of names, monopoly. And then also imports will be encouraged. So we don't want to go into that. Let other Nigerians also go and do it, because we are not the only Nigerians here. There are maybe some Nigerians with even more cash than us. They should bring that money from Dubai, from other parts of the world, to come and invest in our own fatherland. Well, everything depends on NNPC, because the OB3 is their own gas pipeline. Majority of the gas that being produced is, it's being produced from their own facilities. Our own has not really started yet, but we are doing other, other pipelines in Bayelsa to bring, to take the gas to Otorogu to process, and now inject it into the elves. Once we do that, then it will add to the viability of our investment, and also to make sure that, yes, we have additional gas, not only for us, for the entire system. But I'm sure OB3 will address all these issues, and we'll continue to pray that the OB3 will be delivered as promised, which is end of July. Yeah, well, in terms of quality, when we started, our quality was about 600 to 650 ppm, and the 600 to 650 ppm is one of the best in terms of quality, okay, at that time when we started. But as of today, we are 87 ppm, and I assure you, media, you can come again and take sample on Monday. By Monday, latest Tuesday, will be at 50 ppm. By beginning of August, will be at 10 ppm. So in terms of quality, we are doing very, very well. Nobody can produce anything better than us. So I just got the result from him 5 minutes ago. We are now down to even 32 ppm. And I want to plead with the regulator to come at any time, whether Sunday or Monday. We'll take the sample, and I guarantee you, before he gets here, our own ppm will be even below 10. When we are coming here, His Excellency, the Speaker, said that, no, can we please wait? It wasn't planned, but he said that we should wait, since we have media with us, to pick up samples from 2 filling stations, and also when we get into our plant, they will pick up samples to check. The result has actually come out, and I'm going to share these same results with you, because they've checked. There is a total ppm was 1,890 something. I'll give you the paper, and they can also come, which was picked from their station there. The matrix also came to 2,653, and but then the flash point matrix was 61, which is below the minimum. The minimum is 66, and then also total is 26 flash point. Our own flash point is actually 96, and the records are there. If you want to do the test at any given time, you can actually run this test. We don't believe in the test of people when they bring in ships, because those tests, people write fake things. And, even during COVID, people were writing fake COVID certificates. So, all the results, if they want real results, they should go to SGS or Cotecna. They will give them the real certificate. But the right thing to do for Nigerians is to go to the filling station. And we want anybody to go to any filling station and buy. We'll test for you free of charge. It takes us maximum of 5 to 10 minutes. We'll give you all the parameters. And our own parameters today, we want to announce to the Nigerians, it is extremely very good parameters. We've left that 600. We are not at 600 anymore.
You want to comment about the PMS, when the PMS will be outputed?
By the grace of God, PMS was supposed to be out by this July, but we had the fire incident. The incident that we have, actually disrupted us for a few days. But by latest 10th or 12th of August, PMS will be ready.